MSG is the home of the New York Knicks. What happened here 2 nights ago has only happened 12 times in recent memory. Here's Mike Green.
Williams pulls back. That's a 2. It's good. Williams hits it with 3 seconds remaining. Marbury going down the other end. Marbury in for the layup. Hit the side. At the buzzer. Stephon Marbury at the buzzer.
Back in Madison Square Garden for the Charlotte Bobcats after Stephon Marbury stunned the first-place Utah Jazz. Hi, everybody. I'm Al Troutwig. On Monday night, the Knicks learned that they're capable of pulling out games in crunch time. They are capable of beating good teams in this league, and the arrival of the Charlotte Bobcats brings another reminder of why last year was so bad. The Knicks that year didn't beat teams they should beat, like an expansion team. The Bobcats beat the Knicks all 3 times. That's all they need to know about the effort they need to duplicate from Monday to win this game tonight. For more, we go over to Gus Johnson and the legend, Walt Clyde Frazier.
All right, Al, well, it's been a rough season for Stephon Marbury. He's been booed at home. He's struggled at times to find his place in Isaiah Thomas's system. But against the Utah Jazz the other night, Clyde, he lived up to his self-proclaimed title. He was a star. He was star-bearing.
Yeah, well, I've been telling people you don't lose your game literally overnight. What Steph lost was his confidence. So now he's regained that confidence, and he's been on the rampage the last 5 games, propelling the Knicks. So now he's playing with the aggressiveness and the tenacity that they once feared in his game. Uncanny blend of power and quickness, overwhelming the opposition. You know, shooting the 3-point shot. He has the mid-range game. He can be the consummate player. That was punctuated by this game-winning hoop in the previous game over Utah by Steph.
So the numbers for Stephon over the last 2 games. Let's take a look. Marbury with 31 points against Denver. Everything is up. He's averaging 30, shooting 50% from the field. His assists are up. His minutes are up. 2 highest scoring games of the season for Stephon Marbury. As for the Charlotte Bobcats, they come into this game with only 6 wins. They've lost 7 of their last 10 ball games, and we get an opportunity to see a rookie that plays like an old school guy. Adam Morrison, 3rd overall pick out of Gonzaga, has all the shots.
Yep, and right now he's leading all rookies in minutes played, scoring. And let's take a look at what Morrison does at 6'8". You see he can create off the dribble. He likes to come on the curl play. That's one of his favorite plays, coming on the curl. But he can also post you up. And this is the move that's going to propel him into stardom right there. Being able to create his own shot. So he's able to do that now. And the Knicks must control Morrison. He's shooting poorly from the field. They can ill afford to allow him to erupt tonight.
So Adam Morrison, you're right, Clyde, shooting poorly from the field this season, 38%, but he's averaging 14 a game, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. He leads all rookies in scoring, and he's a better player on the road, averaging 17 points per game. Talking about a player playing well, David Lee. 20 rebounds, 17 points on Monday against the Jazz. He'll look to do it again in front of the man himself. That's right, Michael Jordan in attendance with the Charlotte Bobcats squad. So coming up, it's the Bobcats and the Knicks' first of 4 meetings on the season. And we'll have the starting lineup and the opening tip right after this. You're watching New York Knicks basketball on MSG. Tonight's New York Knicks high-definition broadcast, available only on cable, is presented by Panasonic. Ideas for life. And welcome back to the world's most famous arena. Time now to take a look at the starting lineups, and we start with the visiting Charlotte Bobcats, 6-17 overall, 2-8 on the road. Okafor out of UConn, Brezic. Wallace had 31 in their loss to Boston in their last game, with Felton and Anderson, the young man out of Michigan State, in the backcourt. As for the New York Knicks, 10-17 overall, 5-10 at home. Channing Frye, second game back since injuring his ankle, is in the starting lineup again. Eddie Curry, David Lee, Mr. Double-Double with the 20-rebound game, 17 points against Utah on Monday. Stephon and Crawford in the backcourt. So Jamal Crawford will look to get off to a better start this evening. He played 43 minutes against Utah, ended with 18 points and 4 assists, but he was 6 of 26 from the field. And in his last few games, 6 of 26, 1 of 9, 9 of 19, 3 of 10, 5 of 17. Gus Johnson along with the living legend Walt Clyde Frazier. Clyde, what should we pay attention to early on in this game?
Well, we should pay attention that this team swept the Knicks last season, winning all 3 contests. So the Knicks can't afford to take them lightly. This team also has trouble scoring. They're in the lower echelon in scoring and shooting percentage. So it behooves the Knicks to come out right away, I think, looking to press and trap so they do not come out lethargic and try to force turnovers against this young team.
So Emeka Okafor and Eddie Curry are in the circle. This should be a very good battle this evening between two young players. Okafor, the former Rookie of the Year, tossing the tap, controlled by the Knicks. And here comes Stephon and company. Eddie Curry posting up immediately, guarded by Brezic. Spins baseline, jump hook, too strong. Rebounded by Okafor.
Okafor among the leaders in boundings, 10 per game to lead the club.
Also leads the NBA in block shots with 3. Had 19 rebounds against the Celtics in their 106-100 loss. Okafor posting up Frye on the baseline. That one rims out. David Lee with his first rebound.
Okafor seems to have improved his shooting. That time a nice touch, just would not stay down.
Marbury stop and start to the basket and banks it in. Stephon Marbury really playing well last couple of games, Clyde.
He's back.
31 against Denver, 29 on 9 of 20 shooting against the Utah Jazz on Monday. Wallace, really athletic player out of Alabama, changed his shot in midair, squirts out Anderson, deep three. A brick. And David Lee with his second rebound. Marbury, nice look. Frye, catch and shoot. Channing Frye coming back from that ankle injury, Clyde, 5 of 17 against Utah. He missed 11 games.
Yep, but he came up with a double-double, 10 and 10. So the Knicks are hoping he can duplicate that tonight.
And Anderson curling down the lane for the easy layup.
Knick defense has been vulnerable. No intimidation out there. So a nice swoop to the hoop by Anderson.
Game tied at 2 apiece. Knicks and the Charlotte Bobcats from the world's most famous arena.
It's been a quick pace. Both teams with good offensive continuity.
Channing Frye posting up Okafor. Arizona versus Connecticut. Frye, pull-up jump shot goes down.
Frye seems to have regained his touch after coming back from the injury. That time you could literally count the seams on the ball along the baseline.
Knicks on the season shooting 45% from the field. But they allow opponents to shoot 45% as well. Curry posting up. Drop step again, and he will go to the line.
Eddie very active. I like his footwork now and the utilization of his body. So when he's not in foul woes, he is a juggernaut. Brezic doing a good job fronting, but now Eddie's open. Watch his footwork. Watch how quick his feet move. Nice spin move. And we always pay homage to Mark Aguirre for working with Eddie on his low post moves. Now his free throws continue to misfire. 56% shooter from there. There's Mark, one of the best in the history of the game on the low post.
So Eddie Curry, 8 points and 3 rebounds at 22 minutes against Utah. And he ran off that string of 11 straight games with 20 or more points. And his numbers down the last couple. He had 8 points against Utah, 19 though against Denver, and 10 against Indiana. But the troubling part, Clyde, is that his rebounding numbers are down. Only 3 rebounds in each of his last 3 games.
Yep, because of the foul woes, he has not been a factor.
Anderson. Okafor, nice play.
Good composure that time by the Bobcats.
Knicks and Bobcats will play 4 times this season. Their next meeting will be on January 12th. Inside, Stephon draws foul. And he will go to the line. As you mentioned last year, the Bobcats sweeping the Knicks 3-zip.
Steph showing the feline quickness that he's exuded in the last 5 games. And he likes to go diagonal into the paint, similar to the game-winning shot the last game, where he came up the court, beat the Jazz back, and was able to get to the hoop to win the game. So Steph, currently on top of his game, has been very erratic from the line, folks. Only a 72% shooter from there. Has one more coming.
As Marbury adds a free throw. Wallace called for the foul. Knicks take a 7-6 lead. Felton feeding the post. Wallace. Brzezic right there and one.
Knicks being mauled in the paint now. Previously, Okafor was in the paint with the left-hand scoop. And Curry helping out. Brzezic, that's why he's open. Lee, the ill-advised foul, sending him to the line. If you're going to foul a guy, make sure he doesn't have an opportunity for the three-point play.
As you take a look at the numbers for Primo Brzezic. Brzezic spent his first 3 years in Indiana, drafted by the Pacers, 27th overall in 2000. He was acquired by the Bobcats in the expansion draft. And his father was a terrific international basketball player in Slovenia.
And you see these rims are very soft, folks. The guys have been getting the ball on the rim, and they've been getting a fortuitous bounce. And that's why you want to put an arc on your ball. Lee's lucky he didn't get a foul there for grabbing Wallace, who was in the passing lane. See Wallace, the disappointment on his face. He wanted a foul call. Wallace, an extraordinary leaper. He can excite the venue once he gets in transition.
Hit 5 threes against the Knicks in a game last year. Channing Frye spotting up, and he ties it up at 9 apiece. Knicks back into the 2-3 zone.
Bobcats kind of want to lull you to sleep. Very methodical on the offense.
And Felton fouled up top by Curry.
No reason for Eddie to foul him. He wasn't looking to shoot. Watch Felton just looking to dish. And there's Curry. Should get off of him, but he couldn't stop his momentum.
First foul on Eddie Curry. Anderson. Count it.
Anderson into the game a woeful 29% shooter. And he's off to an auspicious start.
Only the 8th game played this season for Anderson. His 2nd start of the year. Frye again wide open. And again he hits it.
That's vintage Frye we're looking at now. A deft touch with the jumper. Okafor looking to post Frye.
Mecca across the lane.
Mecca knows this arena, playing for UConn. So he seems very comfortable in the Garden.
Top of the key, Frye. So Channing Frye off to a terrific start.
Frye feasting with the jumper. So the Bobcats have it now right in front of their bench along the sideline. Felton hurt the Knicks a few games last season. And right there, the good jumper.
So Raymond Felton, 5th overall pick out of the University of North Carolina in 2005. He was on that team with Sean May, Rashard McCants, Marvin Williams that won the national championship. David Lee missing the jam, Felton with the rebound. By the way, May out of the lineup with an ankle injury suffered against Boston the other night. And Charlotte will go to the line and shoot free throws, leading it by 3.
The pace has quickened now. David Lee perhaps leading the Knicks in dunks. Misfired on one as Okafor was challenging him. And in transition were the Bobcats, and Wallace now at the line.
So Wallace hits his first free throw. And Gerald Wallace, another one of those players acquired by the Bobcats in the expansion draft. He played his first 3 years at Sacramento.
That time, no arc. I remember I was saying how these were soft baskets. You get the ball up, it goes in. That time he shot on the B line. 17-13,
Bobcats with the lead. They get back into a 2-3 zone. Skip past Jamal Crawford deep in the corner. And hits. 3-point field goal for Jamal Crawford. And the Knicks trail by 1. Okafor draws a double. Reversal, Wallace fires.
Wallace looks like he's much improved with his perimeter shooting. That time the 15-footer.
Now Curry calling for it. And a defensive 3-second violation called against Charlotte.
You play a zone in order to force teams to the perimeter. So previously Crawford right in front of the Knicks bench with a three-pointer, and now the legal D, and Crawford able to capitalize.
Ernie Bickerstaff, the head coach of the Bobcats in his third season, 50 and 136 overall. This is his 13th year in the NBA as a head coach. 5 years in Seattle, 3 in Denver, 3 in Washington. Baseline, Marbury. Wallace clears it on the weak side. He rakes it and takes it into the front court.
See the patience of this team. They like to orchestrate in the half-court set.
Pick and roll, Felton down the lane, off the bounce, rims out, rebounded by David Lee. Fourth rebound for David Lee. Curry on the baseline, and one.
That time the omnipotence of Curry. So Curry hell-bent along the baseline, very defiant. Resnick with the foul, and Curry will shoot one when we return.
Liberty Row with Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley, who have exchanged Christmas gifts, beautiful watches. You went to dinner last night with Michael Jordan, he tells me. When that happens, who pays the bill?
Well, we gave it to David Falk. He represents both of us. So we figure he made enough money off of us so he can pay the bill.
That's a good idea. Now, what do you guys talk about at dinner?
Just old time, what's going on in the league, how bad the talent is in the league, and you know, they had a big fight the other night, and I don't think the guys got treated right in the fight. Who got suspended? You know, David Stern. You know, he's cocky. You know, he's got a lot of power. So he's not a bush. He's flexing his muscles.
Patrick, tell me how your son is doing at Georgetown.
He's doing fine. He's not playing that much right now, but we hope that later on in the season he'll be able to get a lot more playing time and, you know, go into his senior year next year.
Can you describe the pride you have in seeing him do that?
Oh, I'm very proud of him. He's my heart. I love him, and I want him to do well.
What kind of player is he?
I think he'll be a fine player. Hopefully one day I'll be able to sit here and watch him play.
I think so, too. Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Number 33 and number 34. Back to you, Gus.
All right, Al, I remember when Patrick Ewing's son would roam around here a few years back, and I was taller than him. He was probably about 6 at that time. Overnight, he just sprouted. I was playing college basketball at Georgetown. Inside Morrison.
Slick pass by Wallace to find a hustling Morrison off the glass.
52-39. Charlotte shooting 63% from the field. The defense non-existent right now for the New York Knicks.
And when you suffer on the defense, so does your offense.
Curry quickly down the lane. Nice play as he blows by Emeka Okafor.
Curry becoming very adept around the hoop with the left hand, as you saw that time.
10 points, 2 rebounds for Eddie Curry. Now Wallace posting up Crawford, draws a double. Morrison. And a foul called. This will go against Bachman, hand-checking Morrison. And David Lee checks in. Bachman heads to the bench.
Morrison has not displayed a left hand, so not good defense by the Knicks. Continue to allow him to go to his right.
Let's check in with Al.
Hey, Gus, I was just talking to an NBA scout who works in the league, obviously, and sees a lot of games. He says the beautiful thing about Charlotte is that they run probably the fewest plays in the NBA. Now, you know the Knicks did their scouting homework. They know all these plays. So the Knicks are giving up 54 points to a team that's running plays that they know are coming.
Adam Morrison, it's a big shot on the other side. Now Frye. Knicks.
Morrison omnipresent now. He's exuding confidence. He wants to take over this game.
Morrison with 14 points. Felton trying to shake up Marbury, and a foul call.
Morrison has wowed the crowd with his shooting prowess. That time Felton with his dexterity. Knicks 1 foul from the penalty. 4:34 remaining here in the second quarter.
Morrison 14 points on 6 of 9 shooting in 13 minutes. On the baseline, he'll shoot that one again. Long rebound picked up Marbury. Crawford in the front court. Straight to the basket and lays it in.
Foolish play by Felton. He was the last guy back going for the steal, and when he did that, an uncontested hoop for Jamal.
13 points for Crawford. Nice pass, Brezic. And Brezic is fouled and will go to the line.
Pick and roll has been working very well for the Hornets here. Let's take a look. There's the pick. There's the roll. Flagrant foul called on Frye.
So Brezic at the line as Frye picks up his first. Brezic's season high is 13 points. He now has 12 in the first half. And Frye called for a flagrant foul, so 2 free throws in the ball for the Bobcats.
Still 4 minutes and 13 seconds. Well, anytime you go towards the head, you're going to draw a flagrant. And I think that's good because guys could be severely injured by hitting them in the head.
13 points for Brezic. Now Felton in the corner. Carroll. And the rebound goes to Brezic.
Curry mistiming his jump. The Hornets in a rhythm. Look how these guys are moving. They're exuding so much confidence right now.
Brezic fires deep. Batted out, picked up by Frye to Crawford. Crawford across the lane.
There's Wallace on the alley-oop.
.327 to play in the second quarter. Bobcats lead at 58-43.
The Bobcats running and stunning the Knicks. Second alley-oop of the game to Wallace.
.327 to play in the second quarter. The Bobcats are all over the Knicks, 58-43. The fans see Michael Jordan on the Jumbotron. There's a mixture of cheers and boos, now mostly cheers. Many fans standing on their feet to pay homage to the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan. So the Knicks will try to get back into this game with 3:17 remaining in the second quarter. What's happened to this team, Clyde? What happens to this team on a regular basis? You see them play well one night, and then the next night they come out, and it's almost as if they're sleepwalking.
Right. Porous defense and no leadership on the offense. Stephon not taking over tonight. David Lee not having his usual impact on the glass, giving him second opportunities. Frye has had a hot hand. Curry, kind of mundane plays, had his moments in the paint, but not often enough.
Lee 2.6 rebounds. Marbury 5 points, 4 assists. Now Kelvin Cato in the game.
Yeah, he had 4 blocks last night.
Felton the lob to Wallace again. And that's the third time he's beaten the Knicks down the floor for lobs, 2 dunks and 1 layup.
Splendid passing by Felton and the ESP with Wallace now baffling the Garden crowd.
Jump hook, Cato, no. Okafor with the rebound.
See, 1 and out for the Knicks. Normally Lee would keep it alive.
Wallace again.
Wallace had 31 his previous outing against the Celtics and headed that way again tonight.
In the corner, Crawford. And a whistle and foul inside will go against Charlotte over the back of Kelvin Cato. How about this? Michael Jordan and John Starks all the way on the corner having a conversation.
But the conversation is all the way on the corner, Gus. That's why. A lot of people in between.
There's John Starks talking about the dunk. Michael saying, yeah, I remember coming out of retirement and giving you 55. Second free throw good for Kelvin Cato. Cato did a nice job off the bench the other night. 16 minutes against Utah, 2 points, had 4 block shots.
Wallace continues to run amok and misses the easy one right there.
Crawford. And he throws it away.
Wallace omnipresent now.
And it goes off of his knee, out of bounds. The Knicks will get it again. Down 62-44.
Good hands by Stephon that time, forcing the turnover on Wallace. When you play on the road, this is what you want to do. Take the crowd out of the game. And right now, the Knicks crowd, not a factor.
Cato. And he gets one to stay down.
Look at Felton. He has that look on his face, keeping his head up. Primarily has been looking to find Wallace.
Down the lane, Felton, and he's fouled.
So Felton has been doing the dishing, and Wallace is swishing. So this time Felton will be the beneficiary of the foul to send him to the line.
So the foul on the play called on David Lee. Balkman checks back in and replaces Lee, who leaves with his second. He's played 18 minutes.
And no impact tonight by David Lee.
Does have 7 rebounds to go along with his 2 points. Felton at the line. And don't forget, coming up at halftime, Al Trotwood will talk to Adam Morrison's college coach, Mark Few, out of Gonzaga. And Al and Clyde will also have first half highlights.
Mostly Bobcats.
Marbury double teamed and a whistle. Timeout called by New York with 1:11 to play in the second quarter. Knicks down 63-46. So let's take a look at the North Fork upcoming schedule. They'll take on the Bulls on Friday and then travel to Philadelphia to take on the Sixers on Saturday. Detroit here next Wednesday. How about the Philadelphia 76ers sending Allen Iverson to the Denver Nuggets? Iverson, an all-star, finally shipped out of the city of brotherly love, and he will take his act to the mile-high city to play with Carmelo Anthony, 2 of the top scorers in the NBA playing together.
Should be very interesting. I think Iverson only wants to win at this point of his career. I think he'll make the transition. The zone defense, folks, what it's doing to the Knicks now is taking Stephon Marbury out of the game. He can't get into the paint, so has not been a factor creating off the dribble. Also, they've been able to control Curry on the low post with the double and triple teaming from the zone.
It's been the Knicks' philosophy this season to go into that 2-3 zone, and usually when the Knicks are using a zone against the team, the way to get the Knicks out of it is to hit a couple of deep jump shots from the perimeter. Frye. Curry is there for the tip jam. Eddie Curry has 12 points and 3 rebounds. Defense the problem, though, for the Knicks. Charlotte shooting 61% from the field, 26 of 43. Knicks are at 51%, 18 of 35. There's Adam Morrison. Great first half, and that's his college coach right there, Mark Few.
Guy looks like a player.
He's in great shape. Well, let's take a look at the American Express. Top of the board, the rookie scoring leaders. Adam Morrison leading. Brandon Roy out of Washington. Plays for Portland now, second.
So we've seen all of these guys but Roy, and no one has really asserted himself that we've seen. Morrison has looked the best of all the guys thus far, has displayed a good shooting touch in the game.
14 points for Adam Morrison in the first half. Now Felton Morrison for three. Off the back rim, rebounded by Marbury. Stephon. Frye picks up his dribble and takes a jump shot and hits. Channing Frye, great first half. He has 14, 7 of 12 from the field, mostly jump shots. He's played 17 minutes. Knicks down 63-50. In the 2-3 zone, they're going to slow the game down as well.
Crowd trying to become a factor.
Morrison wide open. He's deadly.
Now he's going cold. This is last two.
Knicks with a chance to get even closer. Before the half ends, Marbury trying to get his legs going. Guarded by Felton. Down the lane. David Lee to James. And Felton for three-quarter quarter. That is the end of the first half with the score. 63-52. The Bobcats lead the Knicks.
So what you saw that time was what I was alluding to. That time they went a man-to-man. So Stephon able to penetrate and create for Lee. But against the zone, the Knicks have not had that type of continuity.
Bobcats led by as many as 17 in the first half. They lead by 11 at the break, 63-52. Coming up, our halftime activities with Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, and Michael Jordan in attendance. This is New York Knicks basketball on MSG. And welcome back as we prepare to start the second half. 63-52. Bobcats lead the New York Knicks. Gus Johnson along with Walt Clyde Frazier. The Knicks once again give up 60 points in the first half for the 5th time in their last 10 games. They gave up 60 against Toronto, Boston, Indiana, Denver, and now Charlotte. Brezich has been red hot. He has his season high 15 points now. And speaking of Denver, the Denver-Phoenix game has been canceled. There is a blizzard in Denver. Airports are closed, and the governor has declared a state of emergency. Marbury, jump shot. So AI, Clyde, comes to Denver, and all of a sudden, there's a blizzard.
It's a harbinger of what's ahead. It's a rare occurrence, folks, when an NBA game is canceled.
65-54. The game has not been rescheduled. Now Okafor posting up Curry across the lane. The big jump hook. No, David Lee was there. Brezich trying to hustle it down and can't. Stephon Marbury with that last basket registers career point number 15,000.
When I did that, they stopped the game.
Curry. Short, gets his own rebound and draws a foul.
Good second effort by Eddie after misfiring on the first attempt, so he's at the line.
Knicks trailing by as many as 19 in the first half, and there are a number of guys now in the house with 15,000 points. Stephon Marbury, Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, Isaiah Thomas, Mark Aguirre, Walt Clyde Frazier, and now Stephon Marbury. Look at Michael Jordan, though, Clyde. 32,000 points.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 38,000, the career leader in the NBA history in scoring.
Eddie Curry. As we take a look at Michael Jordan, and he's changed seats along with Ahmad Rashad. Second free throw for Curry. Good, sitting on Celebrity Row. Spike Lee's not there tonight. I'm surprised that Spike didn't show up with his good buddy in town, Anderson.
He lost his shoe.
Curry with the rebound. Knicks with numbers now with Anderson in the backcourt. Channing Frye spinning and laying it in. And Bernie Bickerstaff wants a quick timeout. Knicks down by 9 after trailing by 19.
And he's on the official's case about something, Bickerstaff. He wants a 20-second timeout after Anderson lost his shoe and the Knicks come back to score. See right there, inadvertently pulled off by Crawford. Crawford standing on the back of his shoe. Anderson falling, could not get back, and Frye, who has been lethal from the perimeter, spinning and winning in the paint.
Dave Chesney, our cameraman on the baseline, with some great work as he focused in on the shoe, Clyde, as soon as it came off of his foot.
Right, and Anderson should have passed the ball off. He had no traction at that point. It's like standing on ice without a shoe on.
So 15,000 points for Stephon Marbury in his career now, which started right here in New York, Brooklyn, Lincoln High School, then to Georgia Tech for a year, Minnesota, Phoenix, New Jersey, New York.
The other thing people don't realize, this is Stephon's first year of adversity. So he's still learning to deal with that. It seemed to be coming out of his funk now.
And an offensive foul call. David Lee sliding in and taking the charge. Knicks looking for energy. They have been flat since the beginning of this game.
Something we did not see in the first half. Help coming from the strong side by the Knicks that time in the person of David Lee.
So as we start this second half, they go back to Eddie Curry. Here comes a double. Curry spinning, pivots, jump hook, and gets it to go. Tough shot. Easy Eddie. Now with 15 points, Knicks on a 7-0 run.
And we mentioned the effect the zone had against the Knicks and against Stephon and Eddie. So now let's see how long it takes the Bobcats to get back to that zone.
Felton winding up off the mark. Crawford hopping into the front court.
Curry starting to hurt them in the paint.
Wide open from Crawford, and here come the Knicks. Timeout, Charlotte. 9:32 to play third quarter. The Knicks playing with a lot more energy here in the second half.
Okafor and Bresnik now going at each other because of poor communication. That's why Curry was all alone. You see the
part by Audi, leading the way with Grove gripping Quattro all-wheel drive for over 25 years. It's greater to lead than follow. And by HIP Health Plan of New York. Now that's hip. 9:25 to play third quarter. Knicks playing well now after being down by as many as 19. 65-61.
Yeah, Curry arousing the Knicks out of their stupor. And now you see a little more pep in their step on the defense.
Anderson loses it to Okafor. His shot off the mark. He's stripped by Channing Frye. Outlet Crawford. Knicks with numbers. Eddie Curry in the middle. They find Stephon. A teardrop rims off.
Stephon should have used glass. Very difficult shot to shoot straight on.
Marbury on the night, 7 points, 5 dimes. Pick and roll. Anderson. Marbury closes on him and a foul call. Offensive foul called on Anderson as he dropped that right shoulder into Marbury.
Now you see the difference defense make. No longer uncontested shots by the Bobcats. They're hurrying and worrying now, and the ill-advised foul by Anderson.
So Bernie Bickerstaff quickly gets Adam Morrison off the bench. And into the game to replace Anderson. Crawford, Lee, Frye, Curry, Marbury. David Lee. Frye, 15-footer. And he gets the bounce.
All of that because they're trying to protect Morrison. So that's why Frye was uncontested from the free throw line.
Knicks down by 2. Morrison around the screen. Off the dribble. Crawford closed on him nicely.
Knicks energized now.
Inside Brezich, and he jams it down.
Nice pass from Morrison to find him.
Primo Brezich, 17 points, a new career, a season high rather, on 6 of 8 shooting in 16 minutes. Pick and roll, Crawford and Curry. Crawford keeps his dribble alive, finds the big fella in the paint, across the lane, stripped out of his hands, and out of bounds.
Good hands by Felton coming over on the double team. Okafor, no match for Curry. Okafor listed as 250. Curry at least 285. Can muscle him out of there.
Charlotte had 3 turnovers in the first half. They have 3 turnovers this quarter. 7 to shoot. Crawford D. And Morrison pulls it down.
Felton always looking, keeps his head up.
Guarded by Lee. A mismatch. Morrison around the screen.
Crawford doing a good job now on the curl.
Okafor jump hook, no. David Lee. His 10th rebound. Stephon pressing the defense.
Stephon with the mismatch now.
Inside, Channing Frye. And he will go to the line.
The lack of communication now by the Bobcats. Leaving Knicks uncontested.
You know what I think is interesting about professional athletes? Confidence. Channing Frye struggling with his shot at times this season, just like Jamal Crawford. But he has no problems putting it up when he's open, even if it's not going down for him.
Yep. Confidence ebbs and flows, and right now it is flowing for the Knicks.
Hard to understand sometimes. Channing Frye in his last game against Utah, 5 of 17. And right now he's 9 of 14, 19 points.
Well, what the Knicks seem to have a problem is realizing that defense is their best offense. So right now it's not their offense that's catapulting them, it's their defense.
Knicks down by a deuce. Morrison, baseline jump shot. Weak side rebound goes to Marbury. Here's Stubb. Straight to the bucket. Brooklyn style. No. Loose ball. Rebounded by Vasco. Bobcats the other way. Felton. And he lays in.
See, that's where Curry has to contest. He was standing there, back there, and never asserted himself to try to deny the penetration.
69-65. Curry posting up Okafor. And a whistle. Foul called on Okafor, trying to keep Eddie Curry from getting 1 foot in the paint before he gets the ball.
It's how Panasonic. Look at Eddie Curry. See where he is, folks? Never really contested the shot. Once he saw that man in the paint, you have to forget about your man.
And a steal. Here comes Wallace.
Athleticism and hostility of the 6'8" Wallace.
Wallace, 15 points tonight, 7 of 11 from the field. In 26 minutes, he averages 11.
Also leads the club in steals as he did that time.
David Lee spinning, and an offensive foul call. Vasco stepping in and taking the charge.
Let's take a look at Wallace. The anticipation right there, right into the passing lane, and the ferocious stuff.
Last year, Gerald Wallace, in his 5th season out of Alabama, was the first man in 14 years to average 2 blocks and 2 steals per game. Hakeem Olajuwon and David Robinson, 250 greatest players, were the last men to accomplish the feat. Morrison.
Crawford's on Morrison's case.
Felt that's way off the mark, out of bounds.
Felton hears it from the guard crowd with the air ball.
Why, we're going to have to get one of those balls. You know, January 1st will be the last game for those balls. The NBA switching back to the all-leather basketball starting January 1st. Jump hook Frye, inside, no. Loose. Pops out. Crawford deep in the corner. Lets it fly. Pure.
I've been paying homage to Crawford's defense. That time is hustle right in front of the Bobcat bench for the
71-68. Crawford with 16. He's 6 of 11.
The crowd a factor now.
Wallace for 3. And he hits it on a beeline.
Delay of game now charged against the Bobcats.
Isaiah Thomas hot under the collar. 74-68. Wallace, another impressive game. 18 points. He had 31 on Saturday against Boston. Frye. Reversal. Crawford. Mishandle. Nice look. Curry. Oh, and he gets the bounce.
Okafor is there, but to no avail.
Curry muscling that one in.
Wallace looking for more.
And he hits it.
Deja vu right in front of the Knicks bench.
Gerald Wallace was 5 of 8 from the three-point line on November 23rd of last season against the Knicks. Inside, Curry pounds it from Crawford.
Another splendid dish to Eddie from Jamal, the second consecutive hoop off the dish from Crawford.
But last year, that was his career high in three-point field goals attempted and made.
And we're seeing the NBA action now as the pace has quickened.
Felton down the lane, throws it out of bounds. Knicks really starting to tighten it up on the defensive end, and that's what you've been calling for this evening and all season.
Yep, it makes the difference. Propelling the Knicks back into the game, Crawford. A little razzle-dazzle.
Inside, Channing Frye. Jump hook. Count it. Channing Frye has his swagger tonight. 22 points. 10 of 16 from the field. Timeout, Charlotte. 77-74.
And the two-man game devouring the Bobcats. Crawford And Curry dishing and swishing after the rejection by Okafor. And a little deja vu with the alley-oop. And the guard is electrified.
New York matchup. Adam Morrison and Channing Frye.
Yeah, Frye magnificent tonight in every aspect of the game. Morrison wowed the crowd in the first half, but it's gone cold here in the second.
No points for Morrison in the second half. He's over 4. Bachman has done a very solid job of following him around all those screens. There's Adam Morrison on the bench right now.
Frye coming off a double-double the previous game and another big game again tonight.
So an interesting lineup on the court for this Charlotte team as they put Okafor and Morrison on the bench.
Gus, you know another interesting factor? By the Knicks being short-handed, these guys are playing more time. So if they had their regular lineup, Frye would not be seeing this amount of time, or some of the other guys. So that's propelling their numbers as well.
And Stephon Marbury and Crawford, the only guards. As you take a look at the short bench, guys can make mistakes and not have to worry about Frye getting pulled out of the game.
Yep, so they're relaxed out there.
Crawford, crossover dribble, dumps it down. Nice play. He just can't finish. And Harrington has the rebound.
Crawford very adept tonight at looking for open man.
Crawford also a terrific line. 21 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. And he's played 36 minutes, knocked away by Cato. You know what, Clyde? I think Kelvin Cato gives this team a lot. He adds a lot to this team as that veteran that can come in, play some defense, block some shots, and get a couple of rebounds.
Right. When you have other guys scoring, you can take Curry out and put Cato in, a big guy, for his defensive prowess.
Carroll has it taken away by Crawford, and a foul.
Let's take a look at Jamal, man. He's been on the case of Morrison, this time on Carroll, forcing the turnover, so the Knicks have it in the backcourt. But Gus, the coach, Isaiah, has to hold these guys accountable for defense all the time. And when they start the game in the first quarter, it's very porous on the defense, but now you see a very vexing Knick defense. And if you can do it now, you can do it to start the game.
Matt Carroll deep.
He's shooting a knuckleball, no rotation on his shot.
Carroll off the bench tonight, 13 points in 16 minutes. He's 5 of 7 from the field. He averages 7 points a game on the year. Crawford trying to answer no. There's Kelvin Cato. Timely rebound.
Crawford showing fatigue now on his shot.
Channing Frye has been relying on the jump shot this evening.
Look at the Bobcats defense now.
Marbury exploding to the basket, and he's hip checked and fouled.
Harrington belling him out. He should have used the baseline as an extra man. Watch the Bobcats defense now. To the ball. And see Harrington. Right there, they're back. See the ball, see your man. Almost coming up with the steal. High screen for Stephon, and this is how he draws the foul right there against Harrington.
Isaiah Thomas brings David Lee back into the game. Lee, 6 points, 13 rebounds. Harrington picking up the foul, the former Knick. Harrington spending 3.5 years in New York. His first 3 years he spent in Houston. 2.5 in Vancouver when the Grizzlies were located in Vancouver before transferring to Memphis.
The thing about Harrington, he has a tenacious work ethic. And that's why the coaches loved him as a Knick.
Kind of man that eventually will go back to his home state of Mississippi and may run for public office, as Harrington is fouled, knocking that one and breaking that one up by Curry.
And that's the work ethic we were alluding to, not allowing Curry to post him inside. Harrington, of course, from that Georgetown tradition, following Patrick Ewing. So all those guys were tenacious. Mourning, Tombo, Harrington. Wallace has been solid here. Carroll providing the offense.
Marbury, head up. Crawford, bumped and fouled. on the pass.
But it's a moot point because the Bobcats in the penalty. 6:21 remaining in the fourth quarter. The rampaging Knicks trying to hold on as Crawford draws the foul, so he's shooting 2.
So Jamal Crawford, an 80% free throw shooter. He shoots 37% from the field this season.
Last season voted by the media the most valuable Knick player. So the season was a fiasco for the Knicks, but Crawford had an outstanding season adjusting to coming off the bench. And he was superb.
Marbury checks out. Patient night for Marbury. 7 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds in 39 minutes. He's played an excellent game. Right now his knee may be giving him a little bit of trouble. So here's Bachman. He comes in the game to chase Matt Carroll. Attella Harrington. You can live with that. And Frye comes up with the rebound. Isaiah Thomas now trying to shut down Matt Carroll and make somebody else beat them with Morrison and Okafor on the bench. Inside, Eddie Curry. By Wallace. And picked up by Felton. Ray Felton in the front court. Now Carroll off the dribble. Wallace a deep 3. And Harrington gets the offensive rebound.
Knicks have to deny second opportunities. Teams usually score when they get a second opportunity.
They spread it for Felton.
He wants no part of Crawford right now.
Wallace hesitating to shoot from deep this time. 8 to shoot. Harrington, turnaround jump shot in the paint. No. Channing Frye with the rebound is 4th.
And you can see the Bobcats lacking that go-to player right now. Guy that you can depend on if he doesn't score to draw a foul or create for his teammate.
Bachman. Ooh, and he throws it away.
So good job by Felton. Alley-oop. Oh, he missed Wallace that time.
4:52 to play in the fourth quarter. 90-87, Knicks on top of the Bobcats. Back to the Garden after this. Not all the gifts will be under the tree. Celebrate the season with the greatest moments at MSG. Starting at 8 a.m., don't miss the 50 greatest moments at Madison Square Garden Christmas Marathon, presented by HIP. It's the gift that keeps giving all day long. This Monday only on MSG. Patrick Ewing contributing to many of those great moments. Largest comeback of the season for the Knicks. They were down by 16 on Monday and came back against Utah. They've been down by 19 this evening and lead at 90-87. Great game for Channing Frye. A season-high 24 points. He had 22 November 20th against Houston. He's 11 of 21 from the field with 5 rebounds. That ball deflected, picked up by Wallace. Knicks getting sloppy now with the ball. That is their 12th turnover, make it 13th, giving up 15 points off turnovers. Bobcats have turned it over 10 times, giving up 14 points. Brezic, and hits.
7-1, infinite range on the jumper.
Season high 19 points for Primo Brezic. He's 7 of 11 from the field in 23 minutes, 1-point game. Morrison back in the game along with Okafor.
Crawford looking to shake him up.
And does. Adam Morrison, no match for Jamal Crawford off the dribble. Crawford with 25 and 7 assists.
And the hounding D by Crawford. Felton finally got open.
Felton has tied a career high tonight with 14 assists. He also has 9 points.
Now he has to defend Stefan. That task is formidable at times.
Crawford deep 3.
Jamal is tired now. You can see it in his mannerisms. He's played a tough game on both ends of the court.
He's had a hard time dealing with Ray Felton. Pick and roll, Brezic and Felton. Brezic slips to the baseline, rims out David Lee with his 14th rebound. See if the Knicks go back inside to the big man, Eddie Curry. He hasn't touched it recently.
He has overwhelmed Okafor, and that's a key matchup right now on the low post.
Get an opportunity to see who's in shape. Now Curry, he wants it. He won't give this one up. Curry drops down, goes up and draws a foul. So Eddie Curry has to make free throws down the stretch. He's 5 of 9 from the stripe. 2:33 to play in the fourth. Knicks up by a penny. GNY presented by ChevyOffers.com. Get highlights and reaction from the Knicks. Plus, Michael Strahan is back. We'll have giant sound from the Meadowlands. Bobby Gonzalez is in the studio. The head coach of Seton Hall, Gonzo. And a Jingle Ball feature. 2 big games coming up for the Giants. Right now, they're holding on to that wild card spot in the NFC. Tom Coughlin needs a win over New Orleans and a win over Washington last 2 games. Coach Coughlin, great guy. Very nice man.
Yeah, I met him before.
And he's a passionate coach. We hope the best for him. Rough year, though, here in New York. As Curry goes to the free throw line.
See if Eddie has the fortitude. Usually miss one, make one.
What do you see when you watch Eddie Curry shoot free throws?
Too much palm on the ball. Should just be the fingertips. So he rolls it off his palms to the fingertips.
And Eddie Curry hits the second. 93-91.
Shooting, Gus. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
I got you.
I don't want too much herky-jerky.
Felton looking for Morrison.
Stephon right on his case.
7 to shoot. Pick and roll. Felton splits the defense again. 15-footer. Rims off. Presage there for the stick back. And we're tied at 93. Approaching the 2-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
And this war of attrition has come down to this. Who's going to find the energy now to finish?
Curry looking for position inside. He has it now. Okafor sliding in front. Now Curry draws a double to David Lee in the corner. Marbury takes a picture off the back rim. Lee with the rebound, and it's stolen by Wallace. No call. Here's Felton. He backs it up. 93 apiece. Charlotte has fought their way back into this game.
They want to pick and roll.
Felton curling. Morrison, deep 3. The front rim, no, and a foul called on Channing Frye as he gets Presage. And that is the first foul in the last 2 minutes. Sideline out of bounds for the Bobcats with 24 seconds.
Presage creating havoc now, previously on the missed shot by Felton. Presage there to finish, so he's been the guy setting the pick and roll play, and we've seen his infinite range on the perimeter.
24 on the shot clock now. They spread the floor for Felton.
Felton showing some fatigue as well.
Presage. 10 to shoot. Felton. Okafor almost traveled.
He was open.
4 to shoot. Backdoor Wallace. Oh! And the Bobcats take a 2-point lead.
And Frye had to come up, and then he was denying the ball, and Wallace went back door, and that gave him the step that he needed.
So a timeout called. You take a look at the last play.
Watch Okafor. He was baffled, befuddled, had stopped his dribble, nothing to do. And right there, Frye gives the opportunity to Wallace as he goes back door. See, Okafor had a dribble. Well, there he used up his dribble. And you see Frye trying to deny, but he went too far. And that left Wallace open.
Look at Michael Jordan coaching during that play from the sideline.
Familiar, that's familiar right there,
I know.
Dropping the hammer.
It's scary. As we reset it for you. Bobcats out of timeouts. The Knicks have 2:20 remaining. Neither team with a foul to give.
And this is where Curry can be a liability or an asset. Because of his erratic free throw shooting, do you really want him now to be the focus point of the offense for the Knicks?
Usually Jamal Crawford steps to the forefront during crunch time for the New York Knicks.
Well, with this much time, look for them to go into Eddie Curry, and he has to deliver from the line.
As we take a look at the game summary, Bobcats with the lead right now. 3 20-point scores for the Knicks, who trail by as many as 19 on the night that Stephon scores his 15,000th point. So on the floor, Lee, Curry, Frye, Marbury, Crawford.
And they have to watch Wallace. He's always lurking and also a good shot blocker.
Crawford breaks to the ball. Attacks Anderson. Gets straight to the basket. Looks inside. Almost threw it away. Frye down the lane. Jump hook. Got it! And we're tied at 95. About a 15-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. Bobcats out of timeouts. Felton crossover. Stops. Spins. The kick. Wallace deep. Short. Rebound Curry. And the Knicks will play for one.
Top of the basket is in play as long as it doesn't hit the shot clock.
So here come the Knicks. They rise to their feet at the world's most famous arena. They spread the floor for Crawford. He has 27, guarded by Anderson. Jamal Crawford for the shoot, lets it go. Curry with the rebound, and we're headed for overtime again. Tied at 95.
And we do not get paid extra, folks, for OT.
Gotta get my agent to call. Something's wrong with that story.
Jamal leads the Knicks in game-winning shots. Had 4 last season. Will it be another? Off the back, Curry knocks it out of bounds, and we are in OT.
This overtime is brought to you by AIG for insurance, investments, retirement. AIG, the strength to be there. So let's go back to Monday. Knicks and the Utah Jazz in overtime. Darren Williams hits a big shot to give the Knicks, the Jazz rather, the lead. But watch Stephon on the inbound. Length of the floor in 3 seconds. New York wins it in OT in dramatic fashion. Stephon Marbury, the catalyst. And now the Knicks will have to do it again. They trailed by as many as 19 points in this game, fought their way back. But Charlotte answers, and we are heading into overtime, tied at 95. The Knicks 3 of 14 from the field in the fourth quarter.
Fatigue, obviously a factor for the Knicks. These guys have played a lot of minutes now and have to do 5 more. It's been a very vexing game on the defense. Guys up, contesting people. That takes a lot of energy out of you. And those legs start to feel like noodles, but only the strong will survive now.
Knicks are 2-0 in overtime this season. Charlotte 1-1. So the Knicks send out David Lee, Eddie Curry, Crawford, Frye, and Marbury, the men that ended the fourth quarter. Tap control by Curry. Rezic, Felton, Wallace, Okafor, Anderson on the court for Charlotte.
Curry in his office.
Pump fake. Curry has it blocked by Okafor. To Felton. Marbury's back.
Ooh, slick move. Defense creating offense. Okafor, the best shot block in the league with 3 a game, propelling the Bobcats that time.
Now Crawford starts on the box, pops out on the wing. Frye calling it. He's guarded by Brevich. Crawford off the dribble. And a foul.
Good hounding defense by Anderson on Crawford, making them misfire. And the foul, so the Bobcats off to an auspicious beginning here because of Felton. Previously on the block shot was able to score.
That last play, Crawford looking off Channing Frye, who had pretty solid position inside. Wallace misses the jam. And a foul on the play.
I didn't like that from David Lee. When guys are doing alley-oop, don't bend over. Watch David Lee bend over, and that's when guys can get hurt. So Wallace, the only thing he could do is hold on to the rim. See right there, because Lee was under him. So Dave charged with the foul.
Wallace at the line. First free throw is good. What a game for Wallace, coming off that 31-point effort against Boston. 24 tonight. 2 assists, 2 rebounds.
The Bobcats have a lot of room to acquire players. Allen Iverson turned down a deal to go there. He did not want to start his career with a team that's rebuilding. But they have a lot of money under the salary cap.
Frye shooting in rhythm,
as he's done all evening.
He has 26, 12 of 22 from the field.
Felton exuding a lot of confidence now. Very loosey-goosey.
Brezic has been confident. Nemo Brezic with 21, a season high. And a whistle and foul away from the ball. And that's going against Brezic, his 6th. So he heads to the bench, fouling out with 21 and 6 in 28 minutes.
And that's a big loss for the Bobcats.
Let's see who they bring onto the floor.
Because of his perimeter shooting. Resnick is 7'1", an excellent perimeter shooter.
So it will be a fella Harrington. So instead of having a 7-footer, they bring in the 6'9", a fella Harrington, to guard Channing Frye. You know Harrington will make Frye work. 99-97 Bobcats in overtime. Crawford in the corner. Frye again. Oh, man. Channing Frye has his mojo back. We're tied at 99.
And the good dishing is back for the Knicks as well. Good ball movement that time to find Frye.
Frye with a season high 30. Wallace backs up on David Lee. Forced it up, no. Loose ball knocked out of bounds, and the Knicks will get it again.
Officials letting them play. There's contact. No fouls being called.
3:03 to play in OT. This game is tied at 95 at the end of regulation. Knicks were down by as many as 19 in this game. Fought their way back in the second half. Pick and roll. Marbury rolling. Frye pops out, lets it go again. That one off the mark. Here's Felton pushing it into the front court. And he calls a timeout. 2:41 to play in overtime. Knicks and the Bobcats are tied at 99. Coming up, the final 2:41 from the world's most famous arena. Right after this. Presented by ChevyOffense.com. Get highlights and reaction from the Knicks. Plus, Mike Strahan is back with the Giants. And we'll go out to the Meadowlands and hear from the men in blue. Gonzo, Bobby Gonzalez, the head coach at Seton Hall, is in the studio, and a Jingle Ball feature. That's tonight following the Knicks game on MSG. 2:41 to play in OT. Game tied at 99. The Knicks Oppenheimer Funds Team Contributor Award goes to Channing Frye, who ties his career high with 30 Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest. Felton, Adam Morrison back in. Okafor, Wallace, Harrington for the Bobcats. In the corner, Morrison hesitated. 7 to shoot. Felton has been awesome. Pick and roll. Slides to the baseline. 2 to shoot. Felton's got to get it off. No, they will not. Great defense by the Knicks. Felton not aware of the shot clock.
And if your point guard isn't aware, you are in trouble. So the Bobcats discombobulated because they lacked leadership that time. And it has to come from that man, Felton. He has to be cognizant of the time on the shot clock, but he was not.
Marbury, Crawford, Lee, Frye, Curry. Crawford calling for it. Curry catches it on the box. Backs up on Okafor. And a whistle, offensive foul called on Eddie Curry.
Normally Curry likes the right side of the court. That time disoriented on the left.
And that's his 4th.
They want Morrison, but Stefan's doing an excellent job getting over the curl. Now Morrison, you see him on the left side of your screen. Here he comes on the curl.
Pops out, lets it go. That one way off the mark. David Lou tried to save it. And the Knicks will hold on. It's deflected.
By Harrington.
No, it is Out of bounds on the Knicks.
Yeah, Harrington hustling along the baseline to keep it alive, so the Bobcats have it.
It looks like the shot clock will reset to 24, and it does.
A big break for the Bobcats.
And an offensive foul called now on Charlotte. Looks like Okafor.
We just saw folly by Curry, and now Okafor reciprocates. So those two guys now must regain their composure.
Pardon me, Clyde. Morrison was called for the foul. Morrison struggling in the second half. No points. He's 0 for 6. Crawford directing traffic. Pick and roll. Turns. Fires. Looks inside. Curry. Now that's what you're talking about from Eddie Curry. 101-99, timeout Bobcats.
The pick and roll play working to perfection. Curry did an excellent job picking off Wallace. Watch Wallace obliterated, and Curry in a hurry with the sweet stuff.
1:33 to play in OT. Knicks take a 101-99 lead. And look at the reaction from the Knicks bench after the jam by Easy Eddie.
What's left for the Knicks bench? A lot of empty seats over there. I bet Nate's at home screaming tonight. He'd love to be here, but he's got to rest a few more games.
Nate Robinson suspended for 10 games. This is the second game of his 10-game suspension. He went out to speak to some of the schools, from what I understand, Clyde, talk about the incident that took place over the weekend.
Yeah, alluded to his grandmother that she was embarrassed by his action. So I think Nate learned his lesson, and he's trying to tell the kids now that he did not do the prudent thing.
Well, Clyde, when you played in the 70s, there were fights all the time. In the 80s, there were fights. Why is it such a big deal this time?
I guess because of the malice at the palace, because that was such a black eye for the NBA, and you just thought that players had learned their lesson. You wouldn't see that type of display again.
So now Channing Frye heads out of the game. Ronaldo Bachman comes back in. Defensive substitution. Bachman thought he was going to guard Morrison, but Marbury says, get away from me. I'm going to continue to guard Adam Morrison.
You got to stay on Carroll, Markman. Carroll has had a hot hand.
Morrison looking inside. Now it's Okafor. Backing up on Cato. Wallace, 9 to shoot. Guarded by Lee. Off the dribble to the bucket. Not a good shot. Tipped around. Okafor's and one.
How many times have we seen this? Knicks playing excellent defense, making them force up a shot. Right there, a good bad shot, and Cato tips it. Lee misses it. In the foul, and it goes. Jordan reliving all the memories of his exploits against certain teams, and especially the Knicks, as he's sitting courtside tonight.
So Channing Frye checks back in, and he replaces Marbury. Morrison heads to the bench. Eddie Curry back in, and he replaces
Isaiah. Offense with defense. He's pushing all the buttons tonight to try to come up with a win.
Okafor, a 54% free throw shooter, hits the free throw, and the Knicks do call a timeout. 102-101. Bobcats on top of the Knicks in OT. All right, a look at the game reset. Bobcats with 1 full timeout remaining, no 20s and a foul to give. Knicks, no fouls, 2 20s, no fouls to give. As you take a look at Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, and Michael Jordan.
A real celebrity row tonight, folks.
That's right.
Bonafide. That foul to give by the Bobcats is crucial because they can wait and also try to go for the steal and then foul the Knicks. So the Knicks have to protect the ball.
A lot of time left in this game as Isaiah Thomas sends out David Lee, Frye, Curry, Crawford, Marbury.
Frye has been lethal, folks, from the perimeter, so they cannot afford to drop off of him.
He has 30, 14 of 25 from the field. Now Marbury, high screen, starts on the wing. Standing Frye. Looking inside. Curry has it knocked away. 15 to shoot. Marbury down the lane. And he rims it off. So Stephon will go to the line and shoot 2.
Felton riding Steph. Okafor almost coming up with the big play, knocking the ball away. Well, see right there, Wallace should have been stepping up to deny his penetration. So Steph inside. Steph, as we mentioned, only shooting 72% from the line this season. Fatigue could be a factor now for the Knicks. Those legs are tired.
Cato checks in for Curry. So a defensive substitution for Isaiah Thomas. And the Knicks, Curry with 4 fouls. He has 26 and 9 in 42.
And eternity still remaining, 57 seconds.
And he gets a second to tie it at 102. Now Bernie Bickerstaff calls the timeout. Chess match going on between the two coaches, Bernie Bickerstaff and Thomas. Game tied at 102 in overtime. We were tied in 95, Clyde, at the end of regulation.
Yeah, the Bobcats have been trying to get Morrison open, but the Knicks have done an excellent job denying him on the curl.
Don't forget, stay tuned after the game for MSGNY. Presented by ChevyOffers.com. Get highlights and reaction from this one. Plus, Michael Strahan is back for the Giants. We'll go out to the Meadowlands and hear from him. Bobby Gonzalez is in the studio. We'll talk a little college basketball and a Jingle Ball feature tonight following the Knicks game on MSG. 57.2 to play in overtime. 102-102. Knicks and the Bobcats. Bobcats 6-17 on the season. 2-8 on the road. Knicks 10-17. 5-10 at home. Knicks coming off that 97-96 overtime thriller against the Utah Jazz. Stephon Marbury hitting the game winner with no time remaining.
The Bobcats have been a team historically have not been able to finish, especially on the road. And now with the ball, this is their opportunity to go ahead. So the Knicks defense has been up for the task. I think right now they should keep the Bobcats on the perimeter. Don't allow them to penetrate. As we see Wallace, an erratic shooter. Morrison definitely has not done much here the second half. Carroll also has lost his touch.
So here come the Bobcats back onto the floor. Carroll, Morrison, Okafor, Felton, and Wallace. The Knicks, Cato replaces Curry. David Lee, Bachman, Crawford, and Marbury.
I like Felton. He's shrewd. He's clever out there. So they have to keep him out of the paint. He likes to slice between guys through the double team in order to break down the defense. So they must not allow him to make that particular move.
And he's guarded by Jamal Crawford. And Felton breaks to the ball. A fresh 24-second clock for him. Morrison pops out. Felton working. Carroll down the lane. Step back jumper. Off the front rim. No. Loose ball. And Cato is there. And he's tied up by Okafor. So this is a very important jump ball for the Knicks.
Yeah, both guys rising for this one. Asking no quarter. Giving none. Hell bent for leather right there and drawing the jump ball scenario.
So Cato is 6'11". Okafor 6'10". Cato well past his prime against the young Emeka Okafor, the former Rookie of the Year.
He's Okafor looking to tip the ball back right here between Wallace and Carroll.
Here's a toss in the tap, and he does.
Yep, nice timing by Okafor.
Felton, pick and roll with Okafor. Splits the defense. Flipped it up, no. Loose ball, rebounded by Cato. And the Knicks call a timeout. Shot clock turned off. Game clock at 21.7. Our game tied at 102 here in overtime.
Felton trying to draw the foul. It's very difficult to get this call when you're on the road and you're not a superstar. But there was nothing to be there. There was no foul made. Good job by Borkman. And Cato, watch him get away from it. You see right there was nowhere for Felton to go. So excellent defense by the Knicks, and they have it.
So what kind of play do you run in this situation for Isaiah Thomas? In the past, we've seen him spread the floor. A very simple play for Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, I think they're going to like Jamal or Stephon. The way Curry and Jamal have been orchestrating, I go with Jamal. Because he and Curry, they've really had good ESP.
As we reset it for you, no timeouts remaining for the Bobcats. The Knicks have 120. And they generally like to spread the floor for Jamal and just give him the ball and let him do his thing. Because Isaiah Thomas has been quoted as saying the more people that touch the ball in situations like this, the more dangerous it becomes. As the fans of the Garden rise to their feet once again. Knicks with the shot here.
I think Steph is going to bring it up and then give it to Crawford and then look for the high pick and roll.
Marbury between the circles. Takes his time. He was the hero on Monday. Can he do it again? He looks determined. He's going to take this one himself. Here's a pick and roll. 3 to shoot. They got to hurry. Crawford fires. No good. They were heading for double OT.
They waited too long. They waited too long. Too stagnant. You want continuity in this scenario.
Double overtime at the world's most famous arena right after this. AID, the strength to be there. So we head for double overtime. Knicks and the Bobcats tied at 102. First, Jamal Crawford at the end of regulation. And then Marbury at the end of the first overtime. And that's the thing about the Knicks, Clyde. Quite often, as you take a look at Isaiah Thomas's reaction, quite often you see Stephon Marbury in moments like this passing the ball to a teammate with 2 seconds on the shot clock. What can anybody do with the ball with 2 seconds remaining on the shot clock?
That was just poor execution all around. They waited too long. And then when you veer to the sideline rather than trying to get into the paint, you want to try to get into the paint to break down the defense. They never put pressure on the Bobcats.
So, double overtime. Marbury, Lee, Frye, Crawford, and Curry. Anderson, Okafor, Carroll, Wallace, Felton. Toss in the tap controlled by Emeka Okafor.
Okafor has exquisite timing. We saw previously gave them a key possession with the tap and winning it here.
Felton takes a jump shot and hits.
This is how we started the first overtime. A block shot, Felton in transition with the hoop.
Pick and roll, Frye and Marbury. Stephon, a 15-footer.
Good job by Felton, got a piece.
And Wallace saves it from going out of bounds. Foul coming up on Crawford. Felton is so quick with that basketball, Clyde, especially on the pick and roll.
Yeah, he's smart as well. At times feinting to go over the pick and roll and then coming inside of Crawford to draw the foul.
Ray Felton, 13 points, 15 assists. That's a career high.
And he has the first hoop here to start the second OT.
That's the defense. The kick. Carroll fires. Rebounded by Crawford. Crawford has been cold in the fourth quarter and in overtime. He's 1 for 8, 4 points. Eddie Curry posting. Marbury down the lane. Left hand, no. David Lee there. Stick back, no.
Lee rushed the shot. And he shot across his body, never squared up to the hoop.
So the Knicks come out tight here in double overtime. An air ball by Stephon Marbury. Wallace dribbling. And one.
Wallace looking a little like the guy sitting courtside. MJ.
One shot, fellas, one shot.
Watch this move. It's too elusive for Frye. Right there, gets a step on him and overwhelms him with the hoop off the glass and trying to complete the conventional three-point play.
And a timeout call by the Knicks. 3:32 to play in double overtime. Bobcats up 106-102. The Bobcats lead at 106-102. Knicks showing some great signs at times in this game and some very poor signs in this game. Getting down by as many as 19 early. Rallying back to take a 7-point lead in the second half, then allowing the Bobcats to come back, tie it up at the end of regulation at 95. Now in double overtime, and the Knicks have to go to work with Wallace at the line trying to complete the three-point play.
Another slow start by the Knicks. Felton right away with a quick jumper. Wallace penetrating, made the hoop. Now he's at the line for one.
Wallace, 27 points tonight, 11 of 21 from the field, 5 rebounds. Played 1 year at Alabama, was Mr. Basketball in the state of Alabama the year he came out of high school.
Has really improved his perimeter shooting, especially the little mid-range jumper.
Take a look at the minutes tonight. Backcourt playing almost the entire game. Curry backing up on Okafor, picks up his dribble in no man's land.
That's what you don't want to do. Don't give up your dribble.
8 to shoot. Marbury. 5 to shoot. Crawford. 2 to shoot. Lets it go. And doesn't get the bounce.
Knicks not orchestrating right now. Malfunctioning on the offense. Curry with the one dribble. That put them in trouble. Too much time elapsed. Jamal has to force up a shot.
Knicks need a stop and a bucket on the other end. Wallace. Okafor.
You can see that elbow tighten up, Gus. A little pressure on Okafor that time.
Crawford.
No movement. Too much dribbling by the Knicks.
Anderson picks up his third foul.
Frye had the mismatch on Anderson 6'5", Frye 6'11". But too much dribbling now. No ball movement by the Knicks. Have to move the ball and move themselves. When you're stagnant, you're easier to defend.
Marbury tries to turn the corner inside David Lee, and he's fouled. David Lee will go to the line and shoot 2. Lee has not been to the line tonight. And after the 20 rebound performance on Monday, he has 17 this evening to go along with 6 points.
But Lee much improved, folks, from the free throw line. Actually second in field goal percentage, over 64%. And a 76% shooter now from the line. For his career was only about a 69% shooter.
This is a kid that works so hard on his game. Always working before the game with Coach Glimpf on the little things. Free throw shooting being one of them. 107-104.
See if this will energize the Knicks now.
Carroll around the screen, lets it go. And hits.
Lee showing fatigue, not getting over the screen with gusto. Body language. Let's watch the Knicks' body language. You see the Bobcats, they're up, they're energized.
Marbury crosses over, and he can't lay it down, but he will go to the line.
This is what the Knicks want to do. Stop that clock. Go to the line, take points off the board. So previously Steph penetrated and dished inside to David Lee to send him to the line. This time Steph is the recipient. See Carroll on the curl, 18 feet away, swishing it.
All right, man, arms to yourself. Once.
109-106.
Here comes Carroll again on the curl.
And Lee is late. Now they switch off. Frye guard here. That one rims off. David Lee is there. Crawford. Marbury. Inside. Eddie Curry. Drop step. Up the glass. Counted on the foul. But the big fella's got to make a free throw. He's 6 of 11 from the stripe tonight.
And how can they continue to get down before they get up? And now the Knicks are on the rampage again. Watch Curry how he utilizes his body. Watch the footwork, the spin. And he's at the line to shoot one. Yeah. See that body? Open for no match for the big man on the low post.
Here's Curry for the tie. And it's good. 109 apiece.
Splendid free throw shooting now by the Knicks. 2 by Lee, 2 by Steph, and 1 by Eddie.
1:26 to go in double overtime. Knicks and Bobcats tied at 109. Overtime, we're tied at 109.
Let's take a look at the grandeur of Eddie Curry as he continues to improve, mastering the nuances of the low post, using his body brilliantly to fend off Okafor, and then the ill-advised foul sending him to the line.
Eddie Curry with 29 points tonight and 9 rebounds. So Anderson inbounds. He has Felton, Okafor, Carroll, and Wallace. Felton has been terrific. Able to get his shot at any time. Carroll now around the screen. Buckman checks in to follow him. 7 to shoot. Off the dribble, Carroll, and he's fouled.
See, the Knicks bench should have been telling him the side was clear. Anderson cleared the side. The action right in front of the Knicks bench. They should have been telling Balkman the side is clear. The baseline is open. And he was too close to Carroll. That's why he created the foul. So we've seen the Knicks bench jubilant. Now they have to communicate over there.
Carroll again looking for Okafor. Guarded by Cato. Skip pass, Anderson for 3. And Balkman and Cato not communicating. And that one goes out of bounds.
And underneath, the Bobcats have it.
And a new 24. So Bernie Bickerstaff calls a timeout. Looks like a 20-second timeout with 59.8 to go. Knicks with the golden opportunity.
But you can't fault their effort. This is why they're still in the game, because of that relentless pursuit of rebounds, hounding defense. So that time just not communicating. And the Bobcats now trying to come up with the play that will give them the lead again. Carroll has been the featured player. No one else has really been participating in the offense.
The celebrities out, the former Knicks and Bulls, Michael Jordan. Those cats behind Michael Jordan have been talking to him all night. How cool is that to come to a game and sit right behind Michael Jordan? John Starks sitting on the opposite side of Jordan.
Oh, he should never turn down anyone like he did. The guy's open, give him the ball. Look at Stephon. Denying Felton. Oh, he pushed off.
Now Felton takes Stephon off the dribble. Tough shot. Halfway down. Pops out. Okafor there. Can't get the rebound to go in. And a timeout call by the Knicks.
We saw David Lee rush a shot. This time it was Okafor. He had a lot of time. Shot quickly across his body and misfired. Watch Stephon on the case of Felton. See, Okafor had more than enough time. Fall back shot, no good. Michael has seen this before with his team. On the threshold, but cannot finish.
So in this situation, Clyde, what do you do? 43.1 to go. Do you want to take a quick shot to maybe have a chance to get the ball back, or just take your time see if you can score, and if you don't, just play good D.
Yeah, I think they're going to just look to score and try to win the game with their defense if they can score on this possession. They are hoping it won't be as futile as the previous possession they had, where they had a chance to win the game and never executed. The way they're going now, I would go into Curry. I think he's having his way on the low post against Okafor.
Or can he hit free throws down the stretch? That's the question.
Yep, that's the pressure that the Knicks have to put on him to come up with those free throws.
Either team with a foul to give. Each team with a 20-second timeout left. No full timeout.
Actually, it's the free throw shooting that has the Knicks in this predicament. 2 by Steph, 2 by Lee, and 1 by Curry, propelling them back into the game.
David Lee, Marbury, Frye, Curry, and Crawford. Remember, Channing Frye has been excellent, folks, popping out and hitting jump shots from right around the top of the key.
But now he has Wallace on him, so it's going to be a little more difficult to do that.
Curry screening for Marbury. He turns the corner. They look for Curry inside. They reverse it. Crawford 10 to shoot, driving. Kicks it out. Frye lets it go.
And just as I alluded to, Wallace all in his face made him put up an air ball.
And a 20-second timeout called by Charlotte. Their final timeout with 24 seconds remaining in double overtime.
Watch the excellent defense by Charlotte this time. See, watch everybody playing their man, doubling, helping out. And here comes Wallace contesting the shot by Frye. See, Jamal was out of bounds, towing the line. But Fisher's so involved with looking at the action underneath, he missed that call.
So the Knicks have 1 20-second timeout remaining. No fouls to give with 24 seconds left. And the Bobcats break the huddle. Carroll, Anderson, Okafor, Wallace, and Felton come onto the floor. Isaiah Thomas takes a seat. You know, his heart has to be pounding through his chest right now.
What they're going to do is they're going to wait to the last second, folks. You either win the game or you're in another overtime period.
Who's the shooter?
I'll let Felton create that.
So here's Felton. Shot clock turned off. They spread the floor for him. He's been good going to his left. Marbury focused. Felton, 10 to go. Now here comes Okafor to screen. Felton, cross court. Carroll, down the lane. Lost it. Loose ball. Marbury diving on the floor with a tenth of a second to go.
Again, the intensity on the defense, the high pick and roll. Steph undaunted.
Marbury with the steal.
Yep. And we are looking at a third OT, folks.
1/10 of a second left. So we are certainly going to our third overtime. Stephon Marbury last couple of games. Isaiah Thomas saying that against Utah on Monday he played the complete game. Although he did have gaudy scoring numbers, he said that he did a better job defensively. And that's what he's done this evening, coming up with plays such as that one.
The only thing the Knicks can do is an alley-oop to the hoop, and that would be Eddie Curry.
You can't get a shot off with 1/10 of a second left. Let's go back to 1990. This is called the Trent Tucker rule. Trent against the Bulls, Michael Jordan and company got that one off, and the Knicks won it.
Even an alley-oop? Can't get an alley-oop off?
Kind of has to be a tip as they throw it at the basket.
So, as we were talking, we mentioned that an alley-oop can't go 1/10 of a second.
And I don't believe it's going to count. It will not count. You were right, or you were right, Frye. The Knicks are walking off the floor. Is it going to count? It is going to count. It is going to count. Yes, it is. What a game in front of Michael Jordan. The Knicks. That's the only way the Knicks could have won that game on a tip. And David Lee does it, and the Knicks win it 111-109. One more look. Wow.
Only the ambidexterity of Lee would have made this shot, because he tipped it with his right hand going away from the basket.
Unbelievable. David Lee, 10 points, 19 rebounds, back-to-back overtime wins for the